What's up, everybody? It's Constant Confusion here, and today I want to talk about CNN and talk about just how freaking bad they are. I mean, they're terrible, and we all know it. But today, I just gotta say this. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding CNN for a while now, with Trump attacking CNN constantly as fake news, and the wrestling gif of Trump, beating down CNN. And that's been seen everywhere. You've probably all seen it already. And then afterwards, after the outrage, we learned that CNN actually tried to track down the Reddit user who made it, which is obviously a huge waste of fucking time. I mean, it's a fucking gif. And it shows where CNN's priorities are. And that's just not the start of CNN being stupid and just plain awful. When it comes to the mainstream news, there's three media outlets, the three major news networks that have a lot of influence and that people mainly watch, and that's MSNBC, Fox News, and CNN. There's one similarity when it comes to all of them, and it's like they're all a painful shit. They're all a painful shit to take, but the difference is the degree of pain that shit causes. I'm a liberal, and I mentioned this before, and I lean left. So your first guess would probably, of which one I think is the worst out of all of them, would be Fox News, right? But no, I don't think so. I hate Fox News as much as any other, reasonable person. But CNN is probably the worst of them all. And who lives outside a box knows that all three of these networks have an agenda. They all have an angle. They all have a bias. MSNBC, it's no secret that they have a Democratic Party bias. Fox News has a conservative Republican bias. And CNN has this fake neutrality and sensationalism bias. And let's just be honest here, if we were being blunt, they also have a stupidity bias. And the reason I say this is, if you remember a few months ago, they reported this as a headline, as a serious fucking headline. Trump gets 2 scoops of ice cream. Everyone else gets 1. Seriously? Seriously, CNN? You ran that as a legit news story? That Trump got 2 scoops of ice cream? How can we fucking take you seriously when you do shit like this? You constantly complain of Trump attacking you as fake news. But when you run shit like this, he's got a point. And the people are just tired of this bullshit. We are. Now, I'm not saying it's just Fox News, because it's not just CNN. It's also Fox News and MSNBC. They have also ran just stupid, trivial, minute stories that mean nothing. They've ran them too, but it seems like CNN does it on a regular basis. Now, I know in this next part I want to talk about, I know CNN is not the only culprit in this. It was also Fox News and MSNBC. But we're not really discussing those. It's specifically CNN. And this is going to be during the Iraq War. And the propaganda that they used to fuel the conflict and basically get us into the Iraq War, which we all know has been a fucking disaster. It's just been horrible. It's tanked. We pissed away just trillions of money. Many civilians have been killed. And to say it's been a shit show would be an understatement. One of the biggest mistakes we've probably ever made. in our history of the U.S. And instead of questioning, should we have gone in? Should we not have? Just like Fox News and MSNBC, they didn't even bother. They didn't even bother with that. They didn't even bother to say, hey, is this the right thing to do? Are we really doing the right thing? Or what is the information we are getting accurate? It seems like that they didn't do any of that. They just ran the propaganda machine for the Bush administration the whole time. Horrible. And this isn't what the news media should be doing. After 9/11, understandably, everyone was distraught, confused, like what the, how the hell do we, what do we do after this? But CNN running stories like this, that a North Carolina representative says evidence is clear that Saddam Hussein was linked to 9/11. He said the evidence was clear. Iraq was involved into the terrorist attacks. But when CNN actually tried to push back on Hayes, he said, "I'm sorry, but you must have been looking in the wrong places." Even when, and Fox News, MSNBC, they all did the same thing. And anyone who bothered to question it, well, there was only one person who decided to question it, and that was on MSNBC, and that was Phil Donahue. He tried to question it, and he got fucking fired for it. It's just, they took almost everything they ran that the government said. Dick Cheney was saying in 2004, yeah, there's a clear link between Al-Qaeda and Saddam Hussein. We got to go in there. They did 9/11. And, I don't think I have to go any further into this, because we all know what happened. That wasn't the fucking case at all. And of course, there was the weapons of mass destruction claim, which turned out to be false as well. But again, CNN, with their fake neutrality bias, ran it as, hey, maybe they, even if the evidence says he doesn't, he probably still has them. Without... It's just fucking frustrating. And this, we see how much of a huge mistake it was. CNN, they're doing the same thing today in Syria. They keep calling the rebels, or actually they keep calling the terrorist rebels. Most of the rebels are jihadists, but they don't say that. They don't give you that information. And ever since Trump got into office, he's been bombing them left and right, the Syrian government, that is, which is something he railed against back when he was campaigning, or back when Obama was president. He would say in tweets, why are we bombing Syria? Why are we going into Syria? It's a waste of money. He'd say shit like that, but does CNN bring that up? I haven't seen it. They don't bring up the fact that Trump is being a hypocrite. That's not what that's what their job is supposed to be, is to point out the hypocrisy of our government so we can make changes, so we can make policy towards what the American people want and not what the fucking military-industrial complex wants. But they, on a day-to-day fucking basis, it's what they fucking do. And like I said, CNN is not the only culprit, but it just seems worse with them. It really does. It's frustrating. And people wonder why we don't take them seriously. It's pretty sad. And then you have I forgot his name, but the guy went on there, like, after this 59 Tomahawk missiles, he goes and says, "Oh my God, our weapons are just so freaking glorious," something to that effect. And it's like, what the hell, dude? That's not how you're supposed to report it. What you were supposed to say is, wait a minute, why is he attacking the Syrian government who's fighting ISIS? Why is he doing this? You know, it's their job to question the government. It's their job to question the power, and all they've done is just sniff their asses the whole time for years and years and years. And people are sick of it. People realize that it's just complete bullshit. You know, the CNN reminds me, I'm a Los Angeles Rams fan. And CNN reminds me of them. The Rams, they continue to do the same thing. And it clearly doesn't work. But they say, hey, we keep doing the same thing. It fails, but oh well, let's just keep doing it. That's how CNN is. And people wonder why they're universally hated in the U.S. CNN is not favored by a lot of people. And as a news organization, you should be. You can go on all day about this, but it's all evident how bad they are. And shouldn't be this way, but it is. And yeah, I there it is. I just think CNN is definitely the worst out of all those major networks. Even Fox News. They beat out Fox News. How about that shit? So, in conclusion, I really recommend not listening to CNN. I really don't. Because you're just going to get horse shit. You're going to get propaganda. Just like I encourage everyone to not watch MSNBC or Fox News, because they're going to give you much of the same thing. But on CNN, it's just a major shit show. I mean, on MSNBC and Fox News, you'll at least they'll have some moments to where they have, actual clarity and things you can actually agree with them on. They'll actually make sense from time to time. And they'll give the right angle on a story, but CNN, I just don't see it. And a lot of people don't. That's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, please comment, share, and subscribe. Have a good day. Don't become as confused as I am. I'll see you later.